So Maxim 4 is about simplify your life so as to be identical with nature. And I'll tell you, this is the toughest maxim of all to implement it. Simplify your life so as to be identical with nature. So what is simplifying life really means? From a very People from a very religious background will say, oh, no desire, reduce your wants, you know, don't have expensive cars, and don't have this, don't have that. So many don'ts to simplify life. But in heartfulness way, simplifying life is it's all about less complex thinking. It's not about extrovert things. Simplifying life is about, we have this complex mind. The mind is complex because of the impressions we carry. The more and more of these impressions, when they get cleaned, my awareness, my consciousness becomes very simple. It's devoid of any vibrations. My approach to myself and my approach to others becomes very easy and simple. There's no prejudgment, pre-notions, preconceived way of, behavior. Everything drops off. I'm very at ease with myself. When I'm at ease with myself, I am at ease with everybody else. Right? We become complex because we are not at ease with ourselves first. So everything starts within. And then it kind of spreads out. So my interactions with everyone becomes easy and simple. No complex. Simple behavior, simple expectations. Even the expectations change. Other day someone is asking me, what is consciousness? I said, hypothetically, if let's say the consciousness is not there, what happens to us? Hypothetically. We almost become vegetable. All our organs, everything function, the body functions as is. Mind, I don't know if mind can think if the consciousness is not there. We know that we are hungry. The body needs food, but if the consciousness is not there, we don't even know that we have to eat food. We pretty much become a vegetable if just the consciousness is removed from the system. So consciousness is all awareness. Sort of that consciousness interacts with the body, with the mind, with the nature around it. So what's happening is when we sort of lose touch with this consciousness and we try to use our extrovert mind so much in our lives, that is what makes it complex. That is what makes it, we lose that simplicity. But through meditation and through the process of cleaning, when we work from the state of consciousness means there is no emotion there. There's only feelings. There is only, the simple ideas. And we are able to empathize very easily when we work with consciousness. If we don't have that consciousness, the empathy we show is very superficial. Just because we are in a civilized society, we are supposed to behave in certain way, so we behave, but it is not from the real essence, from the inner feeling, that empathy. So all these things, all the noble qualities come out of this consciousness when mind comes in contact with this inner self. So life becomes simple. The approach in life becomes simple. It's not anything to do with the extrovert things. I mean, if I can afford $100,000 car, why not? That car has no, value add to myself, because my approach to life is very different. In the current situation, what is happening when we are not interacting with this consciousness? The mind says in order to prove your identity, it says keeps on accumulate this, possess that, and we are constantly working for those possessions. But a conscious mind kind of goes into a different level of maturity. Its approach to life changes. So it doesn't identify itself with its possessions. It identifies itself with that inner nature, the higher essence. So when we listen to, the great personalities, right? When they're speaking, we think, they're something special. Yes, they're special because they're talking through consciousness. These statements are through that state of consciousness. And that is why when they say it, instantly it has effect on everyone who are listening. Even after 1,000 years, 2,000 years, when we are reading their sayings, their teachings, they have an impact on us. Reason? They spoke from the state of consciousness. It sounds very simple, easy. When they said, "Thy love neighbor," we see the profundity in it. Right? So that is what simplifying life means. Simplicity means. Humility means. Humility means accepting the entity before me as is. In fact, this statement is a revelation to me in one of my meditations about the humility. Humility to accept the entity as is. Humility is not bowing down, being nice. That's not humility. So I'm able to accept that entity in front of me, whoever it is, without any, ideas, preconceived notions, or anything. Whatever it is, accept it and move on. So that acceptance extends to ourselves, extend to, every aspect of life. And then we can cherish even the sickness, we can cherish the health, we can cherish sad situations, we can cherish difficult situations, we can cherish. The whole aspect of life changes. So that cherishing is what being in tune with nature. That's why they say there is no suffering in animals. Animals go through the pain, but they don't suffer. Whereas humans suffer. The whole cause of suffering is because of this acceptance is not there. Humans require that acceptance. Animals don't. Because of their conscious state. It's like that immunity. If you have very high immunity, it causes issues. As doctors, you know it. If you have very low immunity, also causes issues. But it has to be in moderation. This moderation is what being in tune with nature means, really. Once one of the teachers of heartfulness was asked, what do we achieve in heartfulness? He said, we achieve moderation. So this moderation is where we are, neither this nor that. In the ancient seers, they want to define God. So they went on trying to define God, and whatever they define, they find it is not fulfilling the definition of God. Finally, he said it is neither this nor that. Okay. And Babaji said, remove all definitions, what remains is God. That's exactly what it means. You cannot define. That which fits into all definitions, how can you define? And that does not fit into any definition, how can you define? So that which fits into all definitions, and that which does not fit into any definition is God. So they said neither this nor that. So what we are trying to achieve is that state where I am in between, above all the opposites. When I am above all the opposites, I can choose to be angry, I can choose not to be angry, depending on the situation. Sometimes it is necessary to show anger, not being angry. So sometimes it requires all these qualities in us, anger or any emotion, all good and bad qualities. They are there for a reason. Sometimes a bad quality is required depending on a situation. Sometimes a good quality is required depending on a situation. But we don't have to go extreme in either direction. So to put myself above, I can shift little bit here, shift little bit there, and I can come back to my moderate state. So that is what exactly being simple and in tune with nature means. And the method is simple, the process is simple. The way to achieve that state is also very simple. It doesn't take a lot of effort. We have to just apply ourselves, use this method of meditation, method of cleaning, method of prayer, and other techniques. Just apply them every day, regularly. As it changes, the refinement of these techniques happen automatically. As we refine the process of meditation, we understand those subtleties of the mind, subtleties of the consciousness as we do it. So this method is a very dynamic method. Even though process seems to be the same every time, but it is very, very dynamic if you start applying it really. So the best way to apply is try to maintain a journal and observe those changes yourself, right? So that's all I have to say today, unless you have any points to share or discuss.